Welcome back, guys. It's the Tightwad and it's February here in Georgia. It may be 70 degrees outside today, but it is not time for the grass to green up. You may be wondering why my mower is already out of the shop. I prefer to use this time of year to get my lawn equipment ready for the spring cutting season. Once the grass starts greening up, my time gets limited. So I'm going to show you guys some things that you can do at home to get your lawnmower and other lawn equipment ready for the spring season. Let's get started. Due to the step-by-step nature of these videos, I've broken this into a 3-part series. This video you're currently watching is part 1. It's general maintenance, which covers inflation of your tires, leveling your deck, and greasing of all your joints. At the end of the video, you'll find links to part 2 and part 3. The first step I take every season to make sure my mower is ready to go is putting air in the tires. All tires have a PSI rating written on the side of them. It'll say max inflation and then the number of PSI. This one says 45 PSI, which sounds like a lot for such a small tire, but it's right where it needs to be. So I turn the valve stem where I need it. I have my digital tire pressure gauge and I check the pressure and I'm down to 6 PSI in this tire. That typically happens over the winter on your smaller tires, and it doesn't take much air to get them back up where they need to be. I have an air compressor hooked up to a tire chuck here that I will use to put some air in my tires. One key is to not overinflate your tires because it can cause them to burst. I'm at 42.5. And let's check it now. One more hit. And we are sitting right on 45. So that tire's good to go. We'll go ahead and move over to the next one on the front and repeat the process. The rear tires on this mower are 12 PSI max. Always make sure you check the PSI on each tire, because even though they may look the same on some mowers, they're typically different. I'll give this one a little bit of air. And check again. And we are dead on the money with this tire. So go ahead and inflate all 4 tires to the recommended PSI, or the max PSI, and we'll move on to the next step of preparing for this year's season. The next step in getting ready for the season is filling your grease joints. They look like this, little buttons on the movable parts on your mower. In this case, it's on the front wheel because this wheel spins and spins and spins, and to reduce friction, there's grease inside this tube that prevents friction and in turn prevents the spindles from wearing out. You fill these with a grease gun. You can buy these at automotive stores. Harbor Freight has them, Home Depot, any kind of hardware store or automotive store will have these. To fill a grease joint, you're simply taking the tip of this and making sure it pushes onto the joint. You'll feel it snap into place. And then you pump grease into the joint until you see some squirting out from either the bottom or the top. So I see some squeeze out on the back side here. I have my rag. I'll wipe off the main part of the squeeze out. Some squeeze out's fine to leave, and this one is done. It just pulls back off. And you can see where the squeeze out occurred, and now we will look for the other grease joints on this particular mower. With the mower jacked up, you'll notice that there are other grease fittings right here on the blade spindle assembly. These are often forgotten when preparing your mower for the season, but they are crucial to the performance of your mower. The blades spin at a very high RPM, meaning that the pole inside, the post inside here that's connected to the blade, spins very fast inside this assembly, causing lots of friction, which in turn causes heat, which causes the metal to break down. So lubricating these joints is key to keeping your mower running well for multiple years. The next thing I want to check to do is make sure my deck is level. side to side and front to back. To do this, I've cut a yardstick into a 5-inch stick so that I can easily come to the chute side and turn my blade even with the chute side and measure, and it is almost 4 inches from the ground, just below 4 inches. Now I'll proceed to the other side of the mower and check the blade in the same position to see the height. If it's off, we'll make some adjustments. As you can see, the deck is slightly higher on this side, so we do need a minor adjustment. Adjustments for the mower deck are typically on the non-chute side of the mower, and you usually have a contraption that looks similar to this. Both of my mowers have adjusted in the same way. If I want to raise or lower my deck, I simply turn this nut to the left or right, which raises or lowers this side. So in this case, since this side is higher, I want to turn to the left and lower this side of the deck slightly. Once we're finished, we can check again and see that this side has moved down slightly. And the opposite side has raised slightly, leveling the deck. Now we'll get nice, smooth cuts with our mower. These two bolts on the front of my mower control the front to back leveling of my deck. As you can see, they're connected to the front of the deck. So if I tighten these bolts, it's going to raise the front end of the deck. If I loosen them, it's going to lower it. So I can then check my front to back in a similar method and make adjustments using these two nuts. I hope you guys found the first video in this 3-part series helpful. These are essential steps to help your mower cut smoothly and to maintain the longevity of your parts. If you want to see the other parts of this series, please click the videos showing on the screen now. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and leave any questions in the comments section below. Hope you guys have a great day.